If after seeing all this, someone still says these are just coincidences, then I really don't know what else they need to see. While some claim Jungkook was paying attention to someone else, the images show something completely different. Today we'll also see Jimin's response when asked where he feels happiest, the details of closeness that have been repeated over the years, and the huge difference in how he reacts to Jungkook's touch. And stick around until the end, because when you hear what they both said about understanding each other even without speaking, many pieces will start to fall into place in unexpected ways. Many people say that Jungkook was by Taehyung's side and wouldn't leave his side, but that's not true. If we look closely at what happened, we see that Jimin turns to look at Jungkook and suddenly realizes that Jungkook was already looking at him. Jungkook didn't take his eyes off Jimin at any point, and this makes Jimin smile when he notices Jungkook staring at him. It's a moment that makes it clear that, despite what others say, Jungkook's attention was completely focused on Jimin. It's normal for many people who support other groups like Jikook to feel jealous because they claim that Jungkook was always by Taehyung's side. However, when we look at the facts, we see that this isn't the case. Jungkook was always looking at Jimin and was only focused on him. This isn't speculation, it's what actually happens in the video. Jungkook keeps his gaze fixed on Jimin while ignoring everything else, demonstrating that his primary focus is on Jimin. This moment tells us a lot about their true feelings. When Jimin looks for Jungkook, he receives an immediate response from Jungkook that leaves no room for doubt. While some try to claim that Jungkook was focused on someone else, the footage shows that he was always looking only at Jimin. It's a very clear sign of their relationship because, ultimately, what we see is that Jungkook always chooses to look at Jimin, and Jimin always responds with that smile when he feels observed by him. Do you remember that interview where Jimin was asked when he felt happiest or most comfortable? As soon as he was asked the question, Jimin immediately replied that he feels happiest when he's with Jungkook. This is very important because Jimin could have said anything else, chosen any other place, or even mentioned any other friend, since the question was general and didn't require him to name someone from the group. But he chose to mention Jungkook, making it clear who makes him feel good. Jungkook holds a very special place in Jimin's heart, and this will never change. It's easy to understand, Jimin always prefers to be near Jungkook. When he answers that he's happiest there, he's telling us where his safe place is. There's no need to overthink it, because Jimin has been very direct in explaining that his well-being depends on being by Jungkook's side, demonstrating that for him, that closeness is the most important thing. Jimin will always make it clear that the place where he's happy and where he feels most comfortable is always by Jungkook's side. This is constant proof of what they have. Even as the years go by, Jimin continues to show that Jungkook is his priority. Watching this interview, fans can understand that their relationship is genuine and that Jimin feels complete when he's with him, reaffirming that there's nowhere else he'd rather be than with Jungkook. Everyone saw what happened when Jungkook shared those two drawings on his social media. He chose to use the hashtags Jikook, and one of them clearly stated couple. At first, many people said he didn't know what he was posting or that he didn't mean anything by it, but that excuse no longer holds water. Jungkook knows perfectly well how his social media works and is very aware of what he chooses to show. If he chose Jikook, it's because he genuinely wanted to, and there's no doubt it was his own decision. Many people get upset and prefer to deny what they're seeing, but it's necessary to look at the facts as they are. If he had shared something like that only once, perhaps someone might think it was a coincidence or a quick mistake. But the fact that he did it twice in a row proves that he knows what he's doing. This isn't something that happened by mistake, it's a direct confirmation from him. What he meant with those drawings is very clear and doesn't need further explanation, even if some find it hard to accept. Sometimes people try to make up stories to cover up the obvious, saying he didn't know what he was posting, but it's been proven that Jungkook knows exactly who he chooses. He used his partner's name, chose the content, and showed us how he feels. After this, it can no longer be said that it was an oversight or unintentional. He chose Jikook, and that's the reality we're all seeing, no matter how much some people want to keep looking for reasons where there aren't any. If we pay attention to how Jimin behaves with others, we can understand a lot about what happens when he's with Jungkook. When other members approach him, Jimin has an automatic way of pulling away, covering himself, or quickly changing position. It's not because he feels bad or doesn't like his bandmates, but because he's very sensitive to physical contact and always sets boundaries. It's his natural way of reacting to others' touch, always maintaining his personal space. But when it comes to Jungkook, the story is completely different. With him, Jimin doesn't pull away, doesn't hide, and doesn't react to avoid being touched. On the contrary, he allows Jungkook to touch his face, play with his hair, and hold his arms or legs as if it were nothing. He stays there, receiving all that affection with complete tranquility, as if being so close to Jungkook were the most natural thing in the world for him. It's a comfort level that isn't seen with anyone else, and that tells us a great deal about their relationship. When we put all these moments together, accumulated over so many years, we realize that this pattern is impossible to ignore. These aren't one-off gestures, they're details that are repeated time and time again whenever they're together. That level of trust that Jimin has with Jungkook shows us, simply indirectly, that they love each other. Every time we see this kind of contact, it's another sign that what exists between them is real and very deep. The connection between Jimin and Jungkook goes far beyond what meets the eye, because they know each other deeply. Jimin has even said that just by listening to the way Jungkook breathes, he knows exactly what he's thinking and what his mood is at that moment. This shows that they don't need to speak to understand each other. They have such a special connection that Jimin can identify what Jungkook is feeling without words. It's a way of knowing someone that can only be achieved when there's a real, constant, and very sincere closeness in their daily lives. For his part, Jungkook has also been very clear in saying that Jimin is the person he feels most comfortable with in the whole world. This statement is one of the most direct pieces of evidence we've received from them about their relationship. It's not just a casual comment, it's the complete confirmation that, among all the people around him, Jimin is the one who gives him that special security and peace that no one else can. When they both admit these things, they're confirming that their bond is unique and that, without a doubt, they are each other's safe haven in any situation they face. If we consider everything they've been through together over the years, it's easy to understand why they have such a strong connection. They've shared joys, sorrows, hard work, and all kinds of situations, experiencing every possible stage of life together. It takes a lot of time and shared experiences for two people to understand each other with just a glance, as they do. The way they understand each other demonstrates that they've built a bond where one truly belongs to the other, becoming a couple who are always perfectly connected. Seeing how they function together, one wonders how long two people have to live together, through heat, cold, and everything life throws their way, to achieve this kind of union. The answer lies in every gesture and every word they share. They've reached that level of belonging where nothing needs explaining because everything is understood. This is the ultimate proof that when two people are meant to be together, their connection shines through in every little action and in the natural way they care for, support, and understand each other every day. It's incredible to see how, even though the world is constantly watching them, they maintain this secret code that belongs only to the two of them. The way Jimin respects Jungkook's silences and how Jungkook seeks Jimin out for comfort isn't by chance, it's the result of a shared life where affection comes first. It's impressive to see how Jungkook can't help but keep his gaze fixed on Jimin, even when there's so much going on around them. The most curious thing happens when Jimin, as if he had sensed exactly what Jungkook was doing, turns to him at the precise moment. In that exact instant their eyes meet, they both react in the same way, huge smiles light up their faces. It's a very brief moment, but it has enormous significance because it shows that, even when surrounded by many people, they are always connected to each other. What makes this moment even more special is seeing Jungkook after the eye contact. Even when he looks away again, his smile remains, as if that small exchange has been stored in his memory for a few more seconds. You can tell that brief glance brings him a genuine joy that he can't hide. It's very endearing to see how, despite being in a crowd or a busy place, they always seem to find each other naturally, without having to make an effort to locate one another. The way their faces change when they see each other is a clear sign of what they feel. It's not just a common gesture, it's an instant connection that happens only when their eyes meet. It shows us that for them, simply seeing each other is enough to feel good and to be in sync. When we analyze these kinds of scenes, we realize that they don't need to say a word for us to understand what's happening between them. A single look and a smile say much more than any long speech or complicated words. These kinds of eye contacts confirm once again how strong their bond is. It's not about planned actions, but something that arises from the habit of always being attentive to each other. It's as if they have a special radar for each other, allowing them to communicate through a silent language that only they understand perfectly. For all of us who are fans and observe these interactions, every smile like this is confirmation that their connection is real and grows stronger with time. When we see them smile like that, everything else fades into the background. Those fleeting moments when their eyes meet are the best example that they don't need filters or acting, because their happiness is evident when they're together. The way they find each other amidst so many people and the peace they find in their gaze shows us, once again, that they are a couple who truly know how to value each other. These constant signs reassure us that their connection is deep and that every gesture reflects how much they love one another. Sometimes, people can live together for years and never truly get to know each other deeply, because that requires more than just being present. But there are connections that break all the rules and go far beyond what can be explained with words. Being able to sense someone's mood just by listening to their breathing, or noticing the slightest change in their tone of voice without them saying a word, isn't something that happens by chance. It's something that's built little by little, with a lot of trust and genuine attention to the other person. When Jimin clearly stated that he can read Jungkook's mind simply by listening to his breathing and instantly knowing how he feels, he gave us the key to what they have. It's not just about spending time together, but about observing each other even in silence. Most people only take what they hear from others, but they've reached a different level where they perfectly understand what the other doesn't dare to say. It's that ability to see beyond the surface that makes their relationship so special. That true closeness begins precisely there, in the details that no one else notices. It might be the weariness reflected in a look, the sadness someone sometimes tries to hide behind a smile, or all those thoughts kept silent because there's no need to express them. Jimin has shown that he knows Jungkook so deeply, managing to decipher his emotions before anyone else does. That only happens when two people have connected their worlds completely and sincerely. What they have is a clear example that true communication doesn't need long sentences or constant public declarations. When Jimin is able to perceive what Jungkook needs without him having to ask, it confirms that their connection is a bond that has strengthened over the years. It's a way of caring for each other that stems from constant observation and pure affection. For those of us who follow them, seeing this level of understanding is the greatest sign that they are not just friends, but two people who belong to each other deeply. That's why, when we hear these statements, we understand why they say they understand each other with just a glance. It's not a coincidence, nor is it something that can be forced, it's the result of years of sharing all kinds of moments, from the most joyful to the most difficult. This kind of closeness is the hallmark of their relationship and what makes them each other's safe haven. They have demonstrated, once again, that knowing someone on this level is the greatest gift one can receive when there is true love.